What's up, everybody? Welcome to another
Yeah.
episode of the Show About Nothing podcast. I'm your host, Junes'88, and my brother, Izzy Phantasmo. What's cracking, brother?
This is Izzy Phantasmo, aka the first place Izzy Phantasmo,
What
representing
are
the
we first
first
place in?
place, representing your first place. You saw it last week, you see it again today.
He double
Uno,
A.
numero uno, we number one. Finally, the Cincinnati Reds are number one in the NL Central. They got the youngest team. They on a win streak, a 9-game straight. Going to make it 10 tonight versus Colorado. Joey Votto still bangs. Everything's good over here, bro.
Are you gonna stand on that? That's you saying it because come next week if they lose, you're gonna have to.
Look, you know what? Look, if they lose, it was a fun streak, but this team is in good hands. They're young, they're tenacious, they don't care who you are. They're gonna come after you. And like I've seen games from this team already where like they're down 4 or 5 runs, and you're thinking like, ah, man, this game is out of hand. They find a way to like come back and win. Like they have won, I want to say like 3 or 4 series straight. They've come back, and when they first started the season, they were I believe they were like 1-7 or 1-9 on the road.
Mm-hmm.
Now on the road, they are 19-7 on the road. They're on a 9-game heater right now, 9 games straight. They've won. That's the second active longest win streak in Major League Baseball. Like this team is exciting to watch. They just got their franchise guy back yesterday, Joey Votto. He came back after a lengthy recovery from a rotator cuff surgery. So he was out for 10 months. He just got activated yesterday. Went 2 for 3, a solo home run in the 5th, a 2 RBI single in the 6th, and the team just never let up from there. Like this team is they're becoming fun to watch. They are becoming fun to watch. Like I've had my eye on the Cincinnati Reds for a little bit. Ever since I started watching Cincinnati, the Bengals, I wanted to like kind of adopt all the teams. So I was keeping an eye on the Reds, and I just wanted to see where they were going to go. 2021 was great. 2022 was kind of meh. They didn't do so hot. 2023 started a little rocky, but they've picked it up, and it seems like they they don't know when to stop. They don't know when to quit. This is a never say die type of team, and they're fun to watch. They're fun. They're young. Um, they got that energy. They want the smoke, and yeah, I'm fully on board with the Cincinnati Reds. I'm fully on
Yes.
board.
Like I said, I adopted hockey. I would not adopt football. I mean baseball. I can't get into baseball.
You know what? You know what's funny though? It took me a while. Like I was kind of into baseball to begin, like early on, but it took me a while to like really get into it. Like back in 2018, yeah, around 2018 is when I started like kind of watching it. And like again, I was kind of on and off, but now I'm like really paying attention to it. I'm really paying attention to baseball like I am with football and whatnot. So like I've really adopted, like I've really adapted into this team, and I've like adopted this team as like my number one team. So like I'm full in right now with this team, and I'm excited to see what this is going to bring to the city, because Cincinnati with the Bengals, they've supported the Bengals now that they've pretty much just become this juggernaut of the AFC North. They become this team where like they're a contender, you know, with who they have and everything. And to see the Reds like starting to come into that fruition as well, where the young team is like they could possibly become a contender of themselves to bring a team where like they could possibly win a championship for the city as well. This is something that I think Cincinnati as a whole has been waiting for. Cincinnati has been dying to see, to have successful sports teams in their area. First it was the Bengals, then it was FC Cincinnati, their soccer team, and now it's the Reds. Like it can only go up from here. It really can.
I feel you. Like I say, man, I can't get into baseball. Like I say, when I play NCAA, I mean MLB, I mean, I'll play it, but like I play first base, and that's about it. And I'm swinging for the fences on every goddamn drive.
You want to hit those, you want to hear those dingers. You want
This
to hit
man was so pissed off that I showed him my stat. Like, how the hell are you getting all these? What are you playing on? Like,
I had to. I had to.
How?
I had to ask. This man had like over 50 home runs. I'm like, what are you what are you playing on? You playing on rookie? You playing on
Nope.
beginner?
I showed him. He was like, how is this possible? Because I'm cold like that. And I hit it every goddamn.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he cold at everything. And I saw his sliders. He was playing on beginner mode. I'm like, no wonder you're getting.
I showed him my slide. Don't tell that lie. Don't sit on here and share that.
This man was playing on beginner mode. He was getting nothing but.
What was it?
He was getting
normal.
Middle.
Playing on normal. Don't be mad because you can't hit home runs.
Yeah, right, dude.
Home run popping in these streets.
Dude, you're getting middle, dick high fastballs down.
Wait, pause. What did you say?
Middle, dick high. Like you're like at the butt, like the up where
is that real baseball terminology?
Dude, put it like this: middle, belt
you
high.
Dick high. Is that real baseball terminology?
Yes. Like,
or that's something you just pull it out the air.
If this is okay, well, if this is the box, you're getting directly in the middle, basically batting practice balls. Yes.
Hey, you know what? I don't like that terminology. They need to switch that. Baseball Association switch that terminology. I don't like that. I don't like it at all. But in other news, June's World 2 is out.
Let's talk about it. Let's go ahead and talk about it. June's World 2 dropped last Friday. If you haven't had a chance to listen to it, it is on Spotify, Apple Music, wherever all your music is downloaded or streaming. Go check it out. June's World 2 by the homie JunesEightyEIght. First and foremost, let's turn it into a impromptu interview session, Mr. June.
All right.
So go ahead and get your artist cap on. Go ahead and get your there you go. Go get the artist cap on. Go ahead and get your artist switch. Go ahead and flip it on real quick. Turn it on one time. Oh, there it is. He got the hat on. He's back in the building.
All right, we'll be here.
All right, so JunesEightyEight. First and foremost, congratulations on the new album.
Appreciate it.
Congratulations on the new album. I've listened to it. I've been behind you with the entire process, but I've listened to it, and I have to say I am very impressed with it. Every song you could tell there is progression. Every song you could tell that the confidence is there. You could tell the growth is there. In your own mind, in your own words, like where do you see this album at? Like, how do you feel about this album now that it's officially out and now that it's people are listening to it? Like, how do you feel about it? Where are you at right now? Like, talk to me.
Honestly, this is one of the first projects that people actually gave me feedback. Like, people actually like telling me like, yo, I like this song, this song. I've been posting in my story what people been feeling and whatnot. But like I said, it's like, I'm glad I didn't put this out last year when I was going to. Because some of the songs wouldn't have been on this project, especially the outro, that wouldn't have been on that project. And I'm glad it took time. Like, people like, when is this coming? Like, it's taking time because it's one of them things like, yo, this one got to be done right. If this is going to be a follow-up to 2016, it got to be a haymaker. It got to be, I felt like I dazed them with the 88 tape, and I had the back gizzard down. I'm like, I'm going for a straight. I got to knock you out with this one. I got to get, ain't no more first downs. It's touchdown on this drive. It's 4th and inches. We need the touchdown. I didn't drop back and gave you a 90-yard bomb, shoestring tackle at the goal. Now we got to punch that bitch. That's what the hell I did.
I like that. I like the attitude. I like the attitude behind it. So the album's out. People have been giving you the feedback. And like you said, you've been posting it on your story. What song has resonated with a lot of people? Like, what song have you seen consistently that's been like, oh, this song is like the one that's popping off?
So confident. I was not expecting that song.
Really?
I wasn't expecting that one. Like, I had some people here early, and so confident was on the list. And it's just that's the song to keep give everybody keep like ain't nobody saying nothing about the outro. Nobody's talking about that one. Like, okay, it's so everybody. I I could send you and then you look like damn. That's what so confident is everybody's pick. Like, all right.
I think the reason why we're saying so confident is like everybody's pick is because in the intro, the one thing you did say was like, if there's one thing you're gonna get out of this album is that confidence, and you showed it throughout your entire album and whatnot. And if you don't mind, there was a text message that you shared with me yesterday. Do you mind if I read it with you?
Oh, go ahead. I know what you're talking about. Go ahead.
So this is a text message that was sent to me yesterday by you, and once I read it, I want you to give me your like your reaction to it, like what you were thinking, and like now that you've had time to digest it, I want you to give me that reaction or that the actual like that feel. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
So it says here, "What's good, fam? Just checked out your project, bro. You did a bang up job on it. My favorites in no particular order are The Spaceman, So Confident, Any More Part 2, and Balance. I found open mic comical. Balance sounds like a whole anthem. And also, if I might add this statement as well, bro, there's parts on this project where your flow reminded me of the late great Tupac." Let's pause on that for a second. He says that your flow reminds him of the late great Tupac. When you read that, when that was said, what was your like? Where were you at when you read that part?
I was sitting down, and I was laying down when I read that. Like, yo, like I was humble. I stopped. I was like, damn. Like I said, and it's like it ain't one of them things like somebody says that it's like it ain't. I don't feel like he was trying to gas and nothing. Like you could have used anybody to say that. You feel me? And I'm like, but to just say that and then be in the same breath, like, oh, thank you. I was something like, oh, thank you. You know what I mean? I wasn't gonna share that message with nobody. I'm like, I keep it to myself. I said, I gotta show my boy this. Like, at least show somebody this. You know what I mean? I was like, thank you. I appreciate that. Now other people may hear that like, man, nah, dog. But like I said, it's his opinion. And I appreciate that opinion. That's high praise. That's very, very high praise.
Yeah, when I read that and I saw that one right there, I was like, wow, that is something. That is a very high vote of confidence right there. But let's finish this out. The instrumentals you selected for these tracks gave me classic vibes. Overall, this is excellent work with a positive, straightforward message throughout. Continue blowing their minds out here, bro. Don't allow anybody to stop your grind, fam. Keep your foot on the gas, 88. I mean, it seems like you got high remarks and you got very good support from this entire album. Like overall, how are you feeling about this, bro?
And I didn't even most of the I asked me like, yo, I told he DM me randomly like, um, I'm familiar with the guy. Like I like some of his music. He likes some of my stuff. But I wasn't expecting to hear nothing from him. Like we don't talk like that. You know what I mean? It's like randomly. Whatever. Kind of thing. Like you see somebody you don't talk about. Time. Oh, I see him in passing. How you doing? You doing good? You look great. Cool. That's how it is with him. So like when he hit me up, like all right. I'm like, oh snap! I read like, man, that's a highly good breakdown. Like the thing that stood out when he commented my beat selection, I'm like, thank you, appreciate that. I try not to pick bad beats.
And the funny
And
thing is, the funny part about it is, like I said, I've been with you throughout the entire process when you've been like making these songs and you've been putting it together and you've been asking me my opinion and stuff. And the one thing you will always show with me is like, you'll always show me is the beats. You'll always send me like the beats you're working with or you're gonna work with. You'll send me little snippets here and there. And like the one thing I always tell you is that your beat selection is crispy, is crispy beats.
I'm gonna tell you why. Because I want when I make music, I want to take people somewhere. I want to take you on a journey first.
Right.
And if I don't feel connected to a beat when I hear it first, you're not going to feel connected. So
Right.
whatever I feel emotionally, okay, this beat sounds good. But some people that pick a beat because it's trendy, like, oh, this is in this New York drill style is in, or this Afro funk type sound is in. I just want the beat, even though it doesn't resonate with me. Is that the right word? It doesn't.
Resonate.
That's the right word I'm looking for. It
Yeah.
don't. It doesn't resonate well with me. I just want to do it because that's hot right now.
Right.
Me, I rather have. I want to click with the beat first. I heard a beat yesterday. I'm like, nah, I turned that off like in the first 15 seconds, first 10 seconds. I'm like, nah, I don't like that. Switch, and I just know I don't like that beat. That
Right.
doesn't sound good to me. So if it doesn't sound good to me, it's not gonna sound good to you, no matter
Right.
what I'm saying. And I got beats that I had. I still got beats I haven't used. Like they sound good at the time. When I go back, like, it ain't time for this beat yet. I
Oh.
got I
So,
got beats stockpiled.
so you have an idea of like when to use a certain beat. Like you could tell when it's time to bring something out the closet.
Yeah, when I do literally, I once it can be like, all right, I got a beat. Cause I just buy beats when I hear them. And
Right.
I just have stuff stacked back and I start working on something. Oh, I got this. Let me go back and listen to it again. And if it speaks to me at that moment, then I'll write to it. But if it doesn't speak to me, I'm not gonna write to it. It's
Okay.
kind of like it's how can I use it? It's kind of like
There's an artist that I listen to that I've kind of stopped listening to, but when I first started listening to this guy, I was like all into his music. I don't know if you've heard Andy Mineo.
oh yeah, I'm familiar. I'm familiar.
There's one thing that he said, and maybe you could relate to it because it sounds like y'all are on the same kind of area. Different type of same mindset, maybe different type of area. But he says whenever he would create music or whenever he was creating certain songs, he'd always have the fans in mind. He'd always have the fans in the concert in mind
Wow.
because there were certain songs that he wanted the fans to be a part of, like to swing the hook, to jump around to, and to like really get, be hyped up in. And then there were songs where like he wanted to really connect with the fans and for them to really understand and feel the message that he was like really bringing up to the front, through that song or whatnot. And he said, like, I always, whenever I'm making a song, I always have in mind like I always have the fans and the concert in mind. Like, what's the energy I'm trying to bring? What's the message I'm trying to bring? I want them to connect with it in the same vein that you're saying. Like, if you don't connect with the sound, if you don't connect with the song or whatever, then I guess from an artist's point of view, you can tell that they're not going to connect with it as well. And
Yeah,
that's
yeah, because like when balance, for example, like everybody fool with balance too. Like that's a crowd. I want for the small bit I had a crowd singing the song with me. That that was dope. Now imagine 100 people singing 88, then 200. Then I can just see House of Blues sold out to capacity, whatever
the House of
capacity.
Blues in Dallas.
Yes, I'm like having that. They even got small room, just having it packed and everybody singing that. I'm like, and it's just when the horns play and all of it just hits you at once, the bass drop, and like that's like that's the energy I'm giving out with that song. But then again, I got other songs like Any More Part Two that's very chill. You
Right.
know what I mean? Like everybody can just vibe with it. Like I'm just like, I want to put you in something. If you come to my concert, you know what you're getting. It
Yeah.
ain't no question like, oh, I know what I'm about to get you. I'm about to get some comedy. I'm about to get this music. I'm about to have a good time. And I just like to take people certain places with music. That's what I like to do. That's why I say, like, a lot of artists they pick bad beats because they try to get what's trendy. They don't pick what they like. And they know what they like, but they don't do it. Like, nah, that's your beat selection. But
Can we go ahead and talk? Because you said something there for a second. You said there's going to be comedy there. And I've noticed that in several of your albums, you've always had a specific like interlude or sidetrack where there's always a comedic twist. There's always a comedic vibe. It's kind of like a Seinfeld moment,
Right?
like a Seinfeld moment, or some sort of like a sitcom type of vibe. Where in this album, open mic, you're at like an open mic night, and the artist that's doing the open
Overly woke.
mic, the spoken word, he starts
Overly
quoting
woke.
certain things, and you're like, wait, that really a Toy Story reference? And then you're
Right.
like, you know what? Can we go start getting some booze over here? And it's just like the crowd and everything about it was just perfect. Like I was on a walk and I was cracking up as I was listening to it.
Look, that was that that like I said, I've had that for a minute because they was gonna be on another project, but I decided I didn't like that project and I just broke that project down to something else. And
I
well,
think
now
the funny part is I like as I started when I started listening to the open mic skit, in the back of my mind, I'm like, have I heard this before? Because I know you probably, like I said, I've been with you through the process. So there's certain things that you've shared with me here and there. And I'm like, have I heard this one before? But I couldn't really put my mind to it. And I was like, I think I have, but like, I can't put my finger on it. So like, for me, it was funny. It was a very funny, very, very interesting interlude that you chose. I'm not gonna lie, comedic value was there.
and like I remember when we recorded that, like I told Altitude, like, bro, I got an idea. I need to be this overly woke poet that makes no sense when he speaks, but when he does it, like, all right, cool. And I was at his crib. He was working on piecing it together. And he was laughing while he was writing. I said, oh, this is about to be so damn funny. So he records it. And I'm laughing while I'm trying not to laugh, but it's so damn funny. Then I go in and do my part. Then Guy comes over later that night. I said, yo, you be the host. He said, everything he said was improv. He improv all that. Only no, that was in, me and his part was improv. So that was all like just
So who did the background with the actual with the background voices of the crowd?
we got that audio, but then me, I was just in the back. That was just me just standing in about a mic like a few feet back, just yelling while he was talking. It's like it was funny. It was like then at the end was just like, oh my gosh, it was so goddamn
I ain't gonna lie though, like the album is amazing. The interlude was great. It was very funny. Dude, I have to say I'm proud of you.
Appreciate
For
it.
the album, like you put it out there, you're getting nothing but love with it, and it's well deserved. Again, if you have not listened to the album, June's World 2, go ahead, stream it on Spotify, Apple Music, wherever your music is put out, wherever you get your music. At June's World 2 just released last Friday. Get in with this new album and let us know down below if you've heard this album already, man. Let us know your favorite song. If you are feeling a certain track, if you want to break down something, go ahead, put it down in the comments below. Let us know what you feel about it. But June, real quick, before we move on, is there anything else you want to say about this album? Anything else you want to add before we move on?
I got some other stuff. Like I'm thinking of some visuals. Just know visuals will be coming and got merch for it too. So yeah, the merch is out. Got sweatshirts, hoodies, coffee mugs, all kinds of stuff.
Link will be in the description box down below if you want to cop the merch.
Absolutely. But speaking of interludes, man,
Okay, talk to me.
I don't know where we want to start. I don't know how we want to start because it's both. I still all right.
I don't. Okay, the fact
Okay, let's just say this is gonna be a long episode. This is probably gonna be a pretty long episode. The intro we did the impromptu interview was a little bit, but this okay.
Okay, wait. So A or B? How you want to run it?
Oh my gosh, what's B?
A or B, just choose.
Let's go. Shoot, I said it now. Let's go with B first.
All right, B. Here it is. Matter of fact, no, we're gonna start with this one. We gonna start with this. We're gonna start with this. We're gonna start with this one.
Side A, okay.
We're gonna start with we gonna flip to A because I feel like B is a little B is gonna we just gonna yeah B is just out there. So John Morant, we've talked about this subject quite a while, and before we found out his actual suspension, you said how long was the suspension? Like how long did you think it should have been?
I said 50. I
Well,
felt like 50 was, and I say 50 because I think that's half the season, and I think it's more of you'll learn more like I spoke about, like if you have a child or you're a teenager and you get a speeding ticket and your parents take your car from you, like, yo, now I'm a pun. Now you can't have your car for a month. You figure out how to get to school or to work, figure it out. Car's gone. Give me your keys.
okay.
Now, if you don't learn from that, I don't know what else you're gonna do. Like
Probably sell the car, or if you have a sibling, they give the car to the sibling, and you're on your own for real, for real.
Yep.
But but it was announced last week that John Morant will be suspended 25 games to start the NBA season. Adrian Wojnarowski, he was the one that broke the news along with Shams Karina. They both said that Adam Silver said it was not going to be a half of a season suspension, that it was going to be 25 games. That was the belief. That's what it is. They do say, though, that for John Morant to come back to the league, before he can step back onto the court, he has to meet some conditions. He has to meet some sort of parameters before he can come back and play. But he will have a say on what those parameters are. He will have a say on what those conditions will be. Do you think the NBA was a little too light, or do you think the NBA and Adam Silver gave him the right amount of time to be suspended?
No, I feel like 25 games is light. I feel like that's a month. You know what I mean? That's nothing to me. Like that's like 50. I feel like I really want him to learn. I feel like, what if he gets day 25, come back that next week, he does something stupid again? I'm like, now you wish you could have suspended for it. Now you said that we should have gave him a year suspension or half. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Okay. I don't want to be devil's advocate on this one, but I guess I'll play devil's advocate. I guess I'll play. He was already suspended 8 games. He apologized directly to Adam Silver. They had the meeting, and Adam Silver felt like he was very contrite, that he was meaningful about it, and that everything was solid on his end. And then this entire situation pops up online, and he even went on to social media to prove that the gun that he had was a toy gun. But still, like, in the moment when it's shown, you don't know that. You just see him with a firearm, and again, we have this dilemma. And
did we really believe it was a toy gun?
I mean, he showed.
I mean, you can all get a duplicate of the same gun you had and say it's a toy.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I get what you're saying, but like he went as far as to like show everybody on social media that it was a toy gun, that it wasn't an actual firearm. And I guess this was Ja's way of doing damage control and whatnot, of like, look, like it wasn't what you thought it was, but still, like, the perception was you had a firearm in a video 2 months after the fact you got suspended for having a firearm in a Denver nightclub or whatever, that nightclub and whatnot. And, I believe what this was about is that Adam Silver was like, look, you came to me, we had this meeting, you said you were sorry, you said you were like I felt like you were legit in saying this, and then this happens. I feel like the first time was the slap on the wrist. This one is like, hey, you need to get your act together, and now there's conditions for him to get back onto the court. If this happens a third time, maybe I don't know if the NBA has a commissioner's exempt list like what the NFL has, but maybe they do, and maybe Ja lands on that, or maybe he's out the league for a season. Like I don't know how this can go, but like again, I get what you're saying that this is like a light, a light suspension, and he may not learn from this, but who knows? Maybe he will. Maybe he'll learn from this, and maybe like he'll understand that if I mess up one more time, that's it.
Yeah, you know what? And you're right. And you're right. I just feel like when I did stuff stupid when I was growing up, which was very, very rare, I bet I like it was like my stupid things I did like wasn't like out the ordinary, like my like stuff like not doing what mama told me to do, like being stupid in school, not do like light stuff that I felt that was like, but my mom like, oh, you want to do that? All right, cool. I got something for you when you get home. I
Yeah.
came home one time, all my stuff was out of my room was gone.
What?
TV, game, everything was gone.
What?
She aired that joint out. All my stuff was gone. Like, yeah, you'll get it back when you get your act together. Let me tell you something. I got my act together. It didn't take long.
I have a
But
mom. I had my mom do the same thing to me. Like I remember a time where, um, I didn't do I had a Spanish class with a so I'm Puerto Rican, and we had a Puerto Rican Spanish teacher and a Mexican Spanish teacher. I ended up with the Mexican Spanish teacher, and for some reason I felt like the teacher and me we didn't get along. So I was kind of being the little butt head around, and I wasn't doing my work. I wasn't doing my work, even though like I knew I could do it. I wasn't doing it, and long story short, I wasn't passing the class. I was failing. My mom found out.
they
My
always.
my mom found out, and she found out, and she wanted to have a parent teacher conference, but I said no. And then one day at Walmart, we spotted her, and I opened my mouth and said, "Oh my gosh, there she is!" I'm like, "Who?" My Spanish teacher. My mom did a full U-turn, went to the aisle that she was in, and talked to her. And she was like, "Look, we'll schedule a parent teacher conference."
Why did you say anything?
I was young and dumb. Okay.
You did to yourself. You should have kept your mouth
That
shut.
was the Lord. Okay, I will credit this to God, because had I not said anything, then I probably would not have passed. But I think God was like, "No, you're getting your act together right now."
Right?
So long story short, they have the parent teacher conference. They get home. I was waiting for them, and my mom's like, "Look, she says you're a good student, you're a hard worker, you just have trouble paying attention. So this is what's going to happen. You're going to sit at the front of the class. She's going to reassign your seat. You're sitting at the front where she can keep her eyes on you. You're bringing your textbook, your workbook, your folder. You're bringing everything, and all the work that you have not done, that you've skipped and you haven't done it. You're doing everything." And I was like, "But I'm not gonna get no credit on it." She's like, "It doesn't matter. You're doing everything."
No. See. You don't get what I'm saying. I came home. I didn't know my stuff was gone till I walked in the room. Damn it. I walk in the room thinking stuff sweet. This woman don't even tell me what the hell's going on. It's all good time. I'm going. I think it was a Friday too, or something like. Oh, it's gonna be a good one. Yeah, walk in that bitch gone. I'm like, yeah, so, all right, you got it. You got it.
What did you
I had
do? What did you do?
that. I wasn't big. I was a talker. I was a big talker. Like I was a really big talker. I was like, not class.
Was this in school?
Huh?
Was this in school?
Yes, I was like a not a class clown.
Same way. I was the same way too. Like I would sit in the back of the class and I would talk with students. I was kind of a class clown, kind of sitting in the back was talking, whatever. So that was the thing. That's why my seat got rearranged to the front.
But I would do my work, but then something I wouldn't do I didn't like, I would do my work, turn it in, but like I would do all my homework at school, so I wouldn't have to do nothing at home. Like, I'm trying to chill when I get home. You know what I'm saying? So I'll be like, Mama, I already did. I did in class. Yada, yada, yada. I turn into work, but I just like, man, I just hate doing all this work. But yeah, man, I messed up a few times. That was like, it was like my stuff was like I wasn't always in trouble. Like when I got in trouble, it was like, yeah, it was for real eyes.
That's crazy. I've never been through that where like my stuff is gone, but like the whole entire ordeal where like my mom was like, "Look, you're gonna bring everything home and you're gonna do the work that you missed and the homework that you have for that day." Like it was annoying, and I didn't want to do it. But after a while, it just became second nature, and I was just knocking everything out. And I'll tell you like how well this worked. Like I'm gonna tell you, it worked. I remember me and the family, we were getting ready to go to Puerto Rico for a family vacation. And I spoke with my Spanish teacher, Miss Thomas. I was like, I came to her like after class and I was like, hey, look, I know we have our exam this day, but we're flying out to Puerto Rico on that day. We're leaving that day. Is there a possibility I can get this exam done early? And she's like, yeah, just come in after school this day and you can go ahead and take it and you'll be good to go. And I'm like, awesome. So I did that. I took the final exam a day early and then I left. Came back. Come to find out, I not only passed the class, I passed the final exam with the highest grade out of everybody.
My man.
I passed it with like a high 90. Everybody like the second highest grade was like a low 90 or like a 80, like a high 80. But yeah, I had like the highest grade in that class.
Hey, man.
In that final exam.
And see, and what we telling y'all is we learned from the bull that we went through.
Exactly.
And I'm saying 50 games is a learning experience. Like I've been suspended for 50 games. I don't get no MVP nominations.
And that's another thing too, since he's not going to be playing for like a quarter of the season or whatnot, he's out of all the major award nominations. He's out of the all NBAs, the NBA MVP awards. He's out of the first team, second team. He's out of contention for all of those, plus the money he's going to be missing out on as well. So I get where you're coming from, where you're saying like he's not going to learn a lesson or like you feel like it's too light because maybe he hasn't like it hasn't hit him. But for me, I really believe, and this is again like for me, I really do think.
I hope you're right, man. I hope you're right. In this instance, I hope you're right, my boy.
I think he'll learn a lesson. Now, if he doesn't learn his lesson, then anything above 30, 50 games, if he gets a full year suspension, like if he gets the commissioner's exemption list or whatever, whatever the case is, if that ends up being the case, then he's going to have to go to rehab. But the bad part about it is he's only 23, 24 years old.
Mm-hmm.
He's still a young kid. Like he's still adjusting and he's still growing. Like there has to come a point, and I'm praying that it's this time around where like there's got to come a point where like he matures and he understands like, look, I can't do this. I can't be a part of this. And to be quite clear, is not just this experience alone. It's not just this situation with the second gun being the second firearm being shown online, and it's not just the firearm in the nightclub. Like we said earlier, there were other investigations and other things that he supposedly got involved in that factored into all of this as well. So it's not like this is just an isolated incident. There have been other incidents that have kind of like were factored into this as well. So, for Ja's sake, for the Memphis Grizzlies' sake, for the fans, you would hope that this 25 game suspension turns out to be the thing that's like that really gets him to like mature and get him to go in the right direction. Because if it doesn't, we don't know where else could it lead. You know what I'm saying?
Speaking of where else could this lead?
Oh Lord.
Speaking of where Zion Williams, Will.
Right. I'm just gonna go. You know what? Hold on.
This, well, do that. This woman.
Oh, no, I'm gonna read some. I'm gonna read some. Let me read it. Let me just read this. And I can't believe her. I can't believe we're still on this. I can't believe she's still going.
She can go all right. She's proven that.
Shut up. Shut up.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
If you haven't heard, Zion Williamson, who's been speculated in trade rumors as of late, people are speculating that he may not be with the Pelicans moving forward, that they might move him, they might trade him. Was involved in a bit of has been involved in a kerfuffle as of late with a former adult film star by the name of Mariah Mills. And like last week's episode, we talked about this, about like how she has been having a one-off conversation, basically putting it all out there that she's been hurt, that she's upset that he didn't tell her that he had a baby mama, that he had a child on the way, and all this sorts of stuff. Well, she's come out the woodwork. She's come out the woodwork again.
Mm-hmm.
She has gone on Twitter, and let me just read you a few tweets, because I really believe this is getting to a point where like either one or two things is going to happen. We're going to talk about like what those one or two things are. Mariah Mills tweeted this yesterday, along with a few others. She says, NBA, I have sex tapes of me and Zion, and he also has them on his trap phone. At NBA and at Pelicans NBA, trade him now. He doesn't deserve to be in New Orleans. Sex tapes dropping soon. She would then go on to drop a few more tweets saying, your NBA career light will be dimmed once the sex tapes release, Zion. It's over for you. You effed up spitting in my mouth all those times. It's over for you. I own you. You won't be able to sleep, Zion. Sleepless nights. It's over for you. It's something in nightmares. A whole lot of like emojis. Why are you renting a house in Miami and you'll never bounce back? It's over for you.
Can I interject real quick? Can I
Please do, because this
just a little bit. I just want just a little bit. It's
talk about it.
I don't. First of all, it's the leading with the spitting in the mouth part for me. Like that. Why she keeps bringing that part up? Like she's very like, yo, this happened. Like I still want to know what he did to her. To I ain't got make a girl tweet about me penis. I ain't got that kind of stuff. I ain't got no girl go crazy like that. Like dog, like it's like you gotta like that's like dog, like she is literally tweeting to herself, talking to herself. Like I ain't got it like that. I don't want to. If I got it like that, if I can make a woman go that crazy, I don't want. You know what I mean?
Right.
But at the same time, I'm like, you're incriminating yourself now. You're saying you got a sex tape with him. And then you say you got it on a trap phone, which isn't illegal. I don't think it's illegal for him to have a burner phone. I don't think that's illegal. A lot of people have two phones.
Dude, I got two phones.
But one is a work phone. But did we lose them? But but you got to work. But it ain't like you out here living a double life.
Right. I mean, I kind of am, because I have my work life and my personal.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. That's true.
But I get where you're going. But I get where you're going with this.
But I feel like now you like, yo, you threatening the release of sex tape. That is called revenge porn. And through my extensive research, that is a felony. And hold on, let me pull it up the nib. Let me put up the nibs. It is, and you can end up in jail for 2 years in jail and a $10,000 fine. Now, for the sake of all that, you do that, your ass in jail. You're a felon to revenge porn because you that, and Zion still ain't said nothing. It's like
I still believe that Zion is hoping for all of this to blow over. That him and his team are thinking that if he doesn't speak on this, if he doesn't like interject and put any like energy on this, that it'll just die off. And with the fact that she is subtweeting herself, like she is like having a one-off conversation, because in that last little thing that I read, each tweet was within an hour. Every single one was within an hour. So she had to have tweeted literally that within minutes of each one that was sent.
When they said she had over
57,000 tweets.
I'm like, and like I asked, how is that even possible to have that many tweets in 3 days? They said directed towards Zion, but I don't know how that. I don't even know if that's physically. I don't even know you could tweet. That means you're tweeting nonstop.
Exactly.
That's kind of like saying when you send a voice note and you only get like 30 seconds, and you got to keep sending them back to get your point off.
Yeah.
And like you keep like, I'm like, at this point, you don't need to do it. At this point, just do a video talking to the camera telling people, because these tweets is getting annoying. And now it's like a baby crying, and you're like, yo, they'll go to sleep. They'll tire themselves out.
Yeah.
That's what they're like, yo, she'll tire herself.
It reminds me of my cousin, you know, when they put their 2-year-old, their 3-year-old to sleep for a nap, you know, you'll hear him sleep. You'll hear him kind of like crying in the room.
Yeah.
They're like, don't go to the room. He'll go to sleep eventually.
Yeah.
That's what it like. That's the kind of thing I'm hearing. That's what you're getting me at. But like also, I played devil's advocate last week when we talked about this, and I was like, well, what if she was legit hurt? What if this was like, you know, maybe there was a misunderstanding?
And I respect that part, and I agree. I totally agree.
But now it's getting to the point where like, okay, now this reeks of obsession and desperation, because you've said in multiple tweets that you retired from the industry back in 2019, I believe, that you're not doing anything anymore. But you have an OnlyFans account that's active, so you're not really out of it.
I say this,
but my thing is, like, you're out of the industry, but you're not really out of it because you're doing your own thing. Yet you're trying to like really attach yourself to this NBA player and all these things. Now, look, if I was Zion and I saw somebody like quote tweet this entire situation, because it was like covered in certain like outlets, someone quote tweeted this and said, you know, revenge porn is illegal, and if I was Zion, I would be on my phone with the lawyers like immediately. Like if I was Zion, I would have my lawyers on speed dial. Be like, look, if she does do this, we need to go after her. Like, now look, I don't know if there was an NDA involved and she broke the NDA or not. I don't know if there's anything of that nature. But what I do know is that she is threatening to release blackmail, pretty much. She's threatening blackmail, and she's threatening revenge porn. And she's basically saying that, you know, if the Pelicans don't trade him, or if the NBA doesn't do anything, if they don't step in, yada, yada, then, you know, it's over for him, and she's going to release all this dirt on him, and, you know, it's going to be a wrap and all this other stuff. I
want to go back to what you said about obsession. I want to go back to that real quick.
Talk to me.
I say that because it's one of the things where I'm trying to pick my words politely. And I feel like Zion is what, 23?
I believe so, yeah.
And she's 30. What? She's older than him. She's 30 something. So I'm like, the obsession part. Like I joked about, like I say, he must have really put the penis on her to make her go crazy.
He must have sold her $1 million dream.
$1 million, like I say. It's like, I ain't got it like that to make a girl go that crazy. I wouldn't want to. But in the same token, I'm like, bro,
Me neither.
how does one? It's like, and it's like you. She's a former adult film star. You're
Mm-hmm.
used to guys coming at you sideways because of who you are. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? You would probably talk to her like talk to her, but dude probably, she could probably get a jump off anytime, any day of the week if she wants.
Yep.
But then like she could probably get it from anybody.
Yep.
But I'm sitting here asking, what how did the what was it, a misunderstanding? Was it like, yo, design like, yo, I just want this. I don't want this is it like one of the things that went too far? Then he tried to get out, like, you know what? This ain't what I want. I'm not really about this. And she went crazy, or you led this girl on to believe it was something more than what she thought it was. Then you like, F you, I'm out. I'm going back to my girl, yada yada yada. Then even if that's the case, what you doing still ain't cool, because at the end of the day, she don't really get damaged because of her. Like, I guess like people, man, you a porn star. Nobody cares about it. Yeah. They like, but this nigga Zion, he a multi-million-dollar guy. Like, yeah, you know, we didn't even nobody was talking about you until you said something.
Facts.
It's like, so people like they ain't even thinking about you. But at the same time, she's a human being with feeling, like we stated last week.
Right.
Now, I don't care, stripper, porn star, whatever, you are a person, you got feelings. And if he hurt her feelings in a certain way, I'm like, I gotta know what he did first. Even whatever he doesn't deserve the revenge porn part. Like, yo, you go to jail for that. I mean, what y'all did behind closed doors, that's y'all business. If y'all sign NDAs, you breaking NDAs, I've never signed an NDA, so I don't know what the legal verbiage is about what happens. I don't know. But in the same token, it's like, you can't keep, like, it's like, this is getting like, girl, nobody's responding to you. It's
Oh
like,
no. People are responding. They're commenting. It's just not the one that she wants. She's trying to hear from.
but and I, but the point I'm making, I want to make it like, it's like that dude at the party that try to holler at every girl, but every girl keeps shutting him down.
Yeah.
Like, dude, the girls just saw you get talk to her, to that girl right there. You got shut down. Now they know you're going to try to talk to them. Like, dude, she just shut you down. We don't want to talk to you. Now every girl see you just trying to bag, when every girl shutting you down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You like, man, some girl gonna have pity on me. You know what I mean? Like, man, Izzy got a girl, Junie got one. Such and such, they all bad. What about, it ain't your night. And like, now it's like people laugh. Now everybody at this party is laughing at you. We're talking to you, but it's not because you're saying anything intelligent. It's not because you're like, we're making fun of you now. Now it's the ha ha, ha ha. Now everybody, the whole town, hey, everybody come laugh at this. That's what you getting. And then she gonna do the whole thing with the body paint, with the jersey thing, with the Duke, and like, she was like, everybody, what are you doing?
Wait, what?
You didn't see that?
No.
She had a whole body paint with the Duke, like with his jersey, like she body painted all blue, Duke across the chest with the yes, bro. I wish I was lying. I at this point in time, I wish I was lying. It's like, as soon as I put Twitter back on my phone, the shenanigans happen. I'm really contemplating about taking Twitter back off my phone now.
This man said, as soon as I put it on my phone, shenanigans.
I had deleted Twitter off my phone. Izzy know that I had deleted Twitter off my phone. Now I get it back, like, man, this is some bull, bro. Like, this is the same.
This is what I was trying to get away from.
Like, dog.
Okay.
Twitter's a wild place. If you don't, Twitter is a crazy place. But I'm just saying, like,
I'm just saying, obsession is a
obsession.
noun.
It's a very strong drug, and she all on it. But speaking of obsession, let's switch gears.
Hold up, real quick. Obsession, the state of being obsessed with someone or something, an idea or thought that continually preoccupies or intrudes on a person's mind.
Mm-hmm.
An obsession is one hell of a drug, like cocaine.
Man, but let's talk about some football real quick.
Woo! Football! Training camp happens in July. I can't wait.
Oh yeah, and let's just talk about. I got to an argument, a little spat. The USFL
Is cheeks.
cheeks, yes, and their conference game. No, what is it?
Their conference championships are this week.
Yes, and I feel like I don't hear no rumbles about it. It ain't like when it was the XFL. People was talking about the XFL when it was around the time. And like, yes, Izzy said because of, ain't nobody hosting home teams and XFL and this. I'm like, bruh, you are almost at the end of your season and the USFL is still watered. Like down, like I'm like, what? It's just like I want to like the USFL, but it's like I see more people at a high school game than the USFL game.
Oof.
And I'm from Texas.
Oof. I mean, okay. Texas is like high school football heaven. Okay. Lake Travis, if you haven't heard of them, like I'm just saying they're kind of a thing. Like Texas is known for their football.
Yes, it is.
And like I've
the
seen
gyms, the other video on TikTok that somebody just showing the gyms in school. Like, bro, they didn't have gyms like that when I was in high school.
Me neither.
They take footballs in Texas. They take football serious,
bro. Like, have you seen some of the stadiums that they have,
bro?
I'm talking about like these. Look, like if you were to show me some of the stadiums out in Texas, and you tell me like, hey, just to give you a heads up, that stadium right there, yeah, that's a high school stadium. That looks like a college stadium. Like take the the Gaylord Memorial Stadium. I think that's the one that Texas Longhorns play in.
Yeah.
Take that and compare it to a high school stadium like Lake Travis or any like top high school football team in Texas. Compare those stadiums. Tell me that they don't look alike. Tell me that they don't look like it looks like a carbon copy of a college stadium.
Look, and the cold part about in some of these stadiums, in some of these small towns, football, Saturday, Friday night lights, all they got is football. It's like high school football is the equivalency of college. It's like it's serious. Like it's like rival schools. Like you think it's like it's serious out here, especially in the country towns.
Mm-hmm.
Not so much in the city where I'm from, but it's ridiculous. You go like you be driving like, well, what's kind of that's Southwest High School. Like
what the heck? Like where'd they get this money from?
Hey man, they want. It's crazy. But USFL, I'm not a fan. I got into it with somebody on Twitter, like, bro, like USFL is like, bro, you going real hard for something that ain't got nothing going for it right now, bro. Like,
yeah.
I'm just saying the XFL is better.
Like, yeah. Okay. So let's go ahead. Let's talk about it real quick. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about that. You said the XFL is better than the USFL.
Yep.
And I remember when we first had this conversation about the USFL, you were like, bro, I'm trying to get into it, but I just can't seem to I think it's too slow. And what did I tell you?
They about the XFL?
XFL. What did I tell you?
They had a preseason.
Yeah, they had no preseason. And what else?
What?
How long did I tell you to give it?
Give it to like week 3. He's like, give it time.
Yeah,
and
give
then
it like
they'll
week
get
3 to
picked up.
week 5, and then talk to me, right?
Yeah,
And after week 5, what were you thinking?
I was excited. I was thoroughly impressed. I was
Exactly.
hyped.
And then with the USFL, this is their second season that they've been running it, and we can say that it hasn't really hit the stride that you thought it was going to hit, right?
You know what? And I said this the first thing I called you and I said, yo, I like how fast the USFL started, how the games were so fast paced. That's what I wanted from the XFL in the beginning.
Right.
XFL was kind of slow, but I'm thinking like, yo, I get you to have a preseason, but you
And
could turn
also,
up.
the XFL, this was their first season in like 3 years that they kicked off. Remember, they first started in 2020, and then the pandemic hit and it shut everything down. So this was 3 years after that they had their full season, and they had the full season. Now, we talked about the XFL last week, right? And we've all discussed the entire thing where like they lost about like 60 million. But The Rock pretty much said like, look, this isn't just a little thing I'm going to stuff in a portfolio and be like, see, look, I started this and this is my little my little project. He said this is something he's in for the long haul. They just had their rookie showcase and they had their draft. So it's like, actually, no, they had open tryouts. They actually had open tryouts here in Atlanta.
All right.
Yeah, they like I caught wind of it like late, and it was going to be in Atlanta, where the Georgia State Panthers play, the old Atlanta Braves ballpark.
Yeah.
So that's where they were hosting it.
Right.
And so like they had the open tryouts and they had their draft. They're going into season 2. You know, I think the XFL, and like I watched the XFL, I watched a little bit of the USFL, and to me, the XFL had a way better product. Granted, for it like not being a thing for like 3 years and just starting up, I liked how the XFL ran their product. I liked how the rule changes were. I liked how how things were pretty much going all around. I loved the fact that each team had a home city, and that the fans could really buy into it.
Right.
And I believe that's the one thing that's lacking in the USFL is the fact that there's no there is no there's no connection with these teams.
Right.
Because if you look at it, if you look at it, yeah, you have Memphis and Pittsburgh and Philadelphia, New Orleans and Michigan. Like you have all these teams. Like you have 8 teams from 8 different cities that have like 8 different cities, right? But they all play in like a central area. They're not playing in like an actual individual venue. The XFL, Seattle is playing in their own city. Seattle, the Sea Dragons, they're playing in Lumen Field where the Seahawks play. You got San Antonio playing in the Alamo Dome. You got the DC Defenders playing in Audi Field where the DC United, the soccer stadium. You got Orlando Predators playing where the UCF Golden Knights play. You got Vegas playing in UNLV's stadium. You got St. Louis. They're playing at the Dome, the Dome in America, the Dome. I don't remember the full name of it. Forgive me. But like, and I know there's 2 other teams. Forgive me for not remembering them. You got Arlington playing in the old
the Ranger Stadium. Yeah.
And who was it? Who's the last one? There's one more team. You have Arlington. Huh?
So you said St. Louis, right?
I said Arlington, St. Louis, DC, Vegas.
Oh, Seahawks.
No, the Sea Dragons. That was the first one I said. But you get where I'm going with. You get where I'm going with this. Like each city has a team attached to it, and they're playing in each city, which means they're able to build the connection with the city and its fans. And you saw that play out in each city. You had DC sell out nearly every game. You saw St. Louis sell out nearly every game. San Antonio started selling out games. Orlando was starting to pick up steam. Arlington was picking up. Like all these different teams were playing in their respective cities that they were attached to. The USFL doesn't have that. The USFL, they have teams playing in like the bubble, like what we saw back in the pandemic. And I'm like, that's fine. That was fine in the bubble. That the bubble idea was fine when you're with the pandemic. I get it. But like if you want the USFL to truly succeed as an individual league of its own, there has to be some sort of connection with the fans to where like they get invested with this. Because my thing is this: you can't serve a product, you can't have a product and be like, this is what we're going to be pushing for, but only set it to where not everybody can go. Right. Like you have like was with different sports teams like Atlanta. Like for example, I'm gonna use baseball. I'm gonna use baseball as an example. Okay, each city that each team is in has its own stadium. It has its own connection with the fan base out there. The Cincinnati Reds, America's first baseball team, they're centered in Cincinnati. Texas, the Rangers. You have the Houston Astros, the Texas Rangers. They have their fan bases because they're attached to those specific areas. You have Miami, you have Tampa Bay. Like each team is connected in their communities. Each team is set in a certain community and they're connected to that community. They're able to build their fan base off of that. The USFL is only playing in centralized areas, so they don't have that They don't have that ability to branch and actually build within the community of those teams that they're attached, of those cities that they're attached to. The XFL is doing that. The XFL, although they practice in the central area, they play in their specific team, their specific cities, so they're able to branch into the community and build their fan base off of that.
Yep, and I feel like before we get about it, I feel like with the XFL, I feel like in Arlington, I think the fan base is gonna grow for next year because I mean, like we won the championship, they won this year, so I guess it's gonna be pretty heavy out there.
I still don't understand how 4-16 pulled it off, but hey, congrats to y'all.
Hey, I didn't expect them to win that game anyway. I'm like, but they were like, whoa.
They finally found it. They finally found it last second.
Yep, and I feel like XFL, y'all got a good thing. I think in Arlington, the Renegade, they're gonna be doing good. Like I said, I like because I'm so used to fast pace. Because you see it in college, you see it in the NFL. Like, dude, there be college game first drive of the season, drop back touchdown. Like, damn. Yeah. I just sat down. I just opened my beer up and sat down and got comfortable. Now this. Damn,
dude! Like I didn't even get a chance to sit down and crack my beer open. All of a sudden, it's a touchdown.
Yeah, it's like I love the fast pace, and then of course, once everybody get their bearings together, they like tighten up. The defense is tighten up. All right, cool. Now we got to touch. All right, cool. But I felt like everybody was playing it safe in the XFL till they got to like week 5, and everybody, all right, cool. Let's loosen up a little bit. Let's relax. But send us home, Izzy.
Man, can you believe that this is our 21st birthday?
Yep, 21.
Like 21 Savage, 21. But you know what, though? 21 episodes in, and fun fact, I was talking to a buddy of mine at church before we go. He said that when it comes to podcasters or YouTube channels or whatever, like 90% of content creators don't make it past their 3rd episode, and 95% of content creators don't make it past their episode 10. We are at 21 episodes. We are in the top 5% of those people.
And like I say, since we talk about in the beginning when we first started this, like we think we spoke about on the first episode, we tried this years ago, but it just didn't mesh right. It just one of them things, you know what I mean? But now it's like we get, like I said, I started seeing old clips from YouTube memory, like Facebook memory, like, yo, man, what do you think about this? I was thinking about bring my podcast back in. I was like, man, let's do this again. Like I said, if we do it, Let me know if you see it. We can go for it. Let's just try it. And we've been steamrolling all. It's been steamrolling now, so it's like.
And the fun part is, we were wondering like what topics are we going to talk about, like what's going to happen, and it's funny how the topics just like they pop up left and right, and we're like, oh, that.
Oh yeah, and like can you believe we made it through a whole season of football? Now we're about to get right back to a whole nother season.
That is, my boy. I did not think of that.
We went through a whole season, 16 weeks. No, 17. 18 weeks, right?
18 weeks.
18 weeks.
Yeah.
All through basketball, hockey.
Oh yeah.
Now we about to be right back to where we started from.
Oh my gosh. This man right here. We have gone full circle.
All that we missed it. And through the mix, we only missed 2 episodes.
Yeah, we missed like 2 episodes, but that like there were some things that popped up here and there. But other than that, though, like we've been cruising.
Yeah.
Like we've been making some moves now. And don't get it twisted now. We like look, if you think this is the end of it, we just getting started, boy. 21 episodes in, man. Man, got me feeling like $1 million. I think we got something special coming up, man. We got something special right here, man.
Oh yeah, man. Like I say, this has been a show about nothing. I'm your host, JunesEightyEIght, the homie Izzyphantasmo. Like always, comment, like, subscribe, share the videos.
Hold up, wait, before we go, one more time. I'm gonna tell y'all again. June's World 2 out now. Go ahead. Do me a favor. Stream this man's album. Whatever music is streamed. Spotify, Apple Music, SoundCloud, wherever you have it, wherever you get your music, it's there. Link will be in the description down below, as well as the merch for the homie. Hey, we appreciate you for rocking with us. This is the show about nothing. JunesEightyEight, Izzyphantasmo. We will see you next time. We are out of here.
Yeah.